So I love it when I find stuff and hear stuff that really goes hand in hand with what Bring Connection Back is all about and like why these games are important to me. Especially I love it when it kind of like reaffirms, or especially when it's from somebody that I really admire, whose work I really admire also. Because yeah, it just makes it all the more synergistic. Like, yeah, this is so in alignment. And this happened recently with something that came up from Mark Manson's new book. So if you don't know him, check him out. But it was about the thinking brain and the feeling brain. You know, we do have these sort of sides of ourselves, the part of us that feels and the part of us that thinks. And it is really legitimately kind of like parts of your brain or ways in your brain, you know, without getting too technical, that like things need to communicate. And there are like these different languages or ways of being. And most people erroneously think that the thinking brain is kind of in charge and it just like is reining in that crazy emotional feeling side of yourself all the time, and that's like kind of the function. It's the disciplined one that keeps everything going, and that, you know, the feeling brain is the thing that needs to be disciplined. But the funny thing is, the research shows it's actually the feeling brain that's in charge. The feeling part of yourself is what really makes things happen, and then the thinking brain is just there to kind of explain the story or write the story and kind of, you know, explain the behavior of the feeling brain. And that doesn't mean that everybody's just like going AWOL all the time, but what it does mean is that the feeling it is really important, not just the knowing it and the thinking it and like knowing that it's better for you or knowing that this is what you want to do, or even just like wanting it to be the case, you know, not the rational, practical, logical thing. What really counts in order to have everything on board and to really make something happen or to be who you are even, is that the feeling stuff has to be on board. You have to be really feeling it. You know, like using the example, he used it several times in his book, but like, you know, something like a diet. You know, you can't just like want to get a better diet happening for yourself and you can't know that it is better and know all the facts and all the research and whatever. This is not going to do it for you. It's not going to actually make it happen into action. What puts it into reality, because what is actually driving is the feeling part of yourself. And again, I'm not saying just like the, oh my God, just any little whim or emotion. It's like much more complicated than that. And we don't have time to get into all of that. But I think you can see when I'm illustrating this point, like you have to feel it. You have to feel your feelings have to be on board. You have to feel the enjoyment of the new food that you're having, or you have to feel pride in, proud of yourself for doing better. You have to really get into the feeling of it, something that is enjoyable and that feels good and that feels like I feel it. I feel what is possible here. I feel what I'm liking here. I'm feeling the benefits of the change, you know, whatever that is. Like I said, you have to be able to feel or be convinced of, really experience like, oh yeah, this food is really tasty. I'm enjoying this new food. And so that could be a thing that keeps it actually happening day in and day out. Or, you know, like I said, it could just be I feel inspired and really sort of like my best self and proud of that by doing this, now that I'm feeling the benefits of healthy and I'm starting to even just feel better sensations in my body. Once you get into there, that's when things could actually become reality. Otherwise, you know, you can say that you want it or you value it or it's your priority all you want, but it's not really going to happen unless you're feeling it, and not just like the thoughts, the things that you know, the, you know, things that you want or have, you know, practically thought through, the things that would be most productive, you know, all that stuff is not going to translate it until it's like, and I'm feeling the experience of it, the benefits of it. And that's the whole thing. That's Bring Connection Back. Like, that is the thing. we are taking, I mean, the games are for fun, but they're also for deepening in every area and for connection. They're meant to have that extra plus of deepening you into anything. And it could be change. You could be wanting some change, and that might be something that it helps you with. Or you might not even be thinking about change, and change just happens passively. It just deepens you. The change that happens could just be getting you more in alignment with who you are at your core. You just kind of feel more alive and feel more like you. And that's not even a big change. We might not even think of it as a change, but it's just kind of like a focusing in. But it happens and becomes real action instead of just an idea or something that you long for or something that you want or something that sounds nice or like, yeah, I'm mentally on board with deeper connection, or I'm mentally on board with like being myself, or having like lots of fun with my partner or my kids, and like feeling like we're really bonded and we really know each other. And of course I want that connection to be great. Or of course I want to be more connected with myself. Whatever. Of course I want to be more playful. That would be great. But not just having that mentally on board, but starting to feel it, to be convinced, to have you try it and be in it and like get the feeling part of you, not just the thinking part of you, but the feeling part of you on board, because you're having the experiences, you're trying these things, and you're feeling something. I don't know what. Like, we have no agenda. It's like, that's the beauty of it. It's you. There's no dogma or sort of like information that we're trying to pass on. We're just like giving you the questions and giving you the playful things that are also enjoyable, so that those feelings are like playful and pleasurable. And there's some smiles and some laughter, and you're experiencing. And so then you're feeling it. So things get into reality. The dropping in and the connection and all of that, it's reality. The feeling brain is on board, and so things are really happening. The driver that's in the driver's seat anyway, is doing this with us, not just the thinker that we're like talking about stuff, and the thinker's doing this with us and like, realizing what we're saying and like nodding and agreeing. No, like the feeler, the person that's the feeling brain is on board and like actually doing this, experiencing this. So the real stuff happens. Whatever course changes need to be made, the driver knows. The driver can go because the driver is on board. The driver is feeling. Or just the driver is in the focused mindset of like, steering. It's going to take us where we want to go. So, I mean, this is what I don't know. I'm too long-winded, but I am so excited whenever I hear things that are just like, yeah, that's the very thing. And it's like research that's being supported, or other people that are talking about these ideas. And this is it. This is totally what Bring Connection Back is supposed to be like. It's hard for me to describe it to people, but then when I hear these ideas and I'm like, yeah, that's what I need to use. Because it makes sense in me. It made sense in me because I did it. It was like, these were the things that helped me. Like when I really made it playful, when I really made it action, when I got my feeling part of myself on board by putting them through the things that they could actually feel, fun things that they could actually feel. And test those waters and like really get on board, be convinced, through having tried things over and over that like, okay, these are the things I feel. This is the direction I want to go, or not. So